Welcome to another edition of Hitting the Books, the college basketball edition of the show. Class is in session. Almost forgot to say that. College basketball, Hitting the Books show Tuesday, February 10th. Ian Cameron with you. Connor Mack hopefully will be along momentarily. He's had some issues with his Twitter account. It's been hacked. It's been taken over. If you look at the header on his Twitter account, you definitely know it's been taken over because it says Florida real estate, and I can guarantee you Connor Mack does not work in real estate in the state of Florida. So yeah, unfortunately, bad news with that. He's going to probably look to get a new Twitter account started in the meantime, so he's had that on his plate. We'll see if he's able to join us today. If not, it'll just be you and me here for this Tuesday edition of the college basketball Hitting the Books show. Very, very happy about the card last night. It was a winning night. We had an easy one with the best bet, which was Valpo and Drake easily going over the total last night for the best bet. So pretty good night overall. We'll see if we can follow that up with another solid night in college basketball here tonight. We thank everyone that is a member of the channel as well. And if you are, you have access to our members only Hitting the Book shows. We will have 2 members only shows Wednesdays and Fridays each and every week. So make sure you tune in at this time, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you're a channel member, you will obviously have access to those shows twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. So make sure you join us for that. Okay, it's a short card. There's not really a standout, phenomenal game, to be honest with you, on the card. So we're not going to do a starting 5 segment here tonight. I will pick a couple of games, though, to mention. First off the hop. One is Vanderbilt and Auburn in the SEC. We've got Auburn 3.5-point home favorites, 161 the total in this game. Auburn's taking money, and I get it. Vanderbilt's really battling some key injuries right now. They're decimated at the guard spot. Clearly, it's affecting them too. They haven't played great basketball. There's definitely been voicing of concern, frustration from Mark Byington, the head coach for this Vanderbilt team, who's done a great job with this program. And certainly there's a lot of people that have lost faith right now in Vanderbilt as far as, pushing this lineup on Auburn. Can you trust Auburn, though, right? That's really the concern that I have here is, I trusted Auburn on Saturday in the basketball version of the Iron Bowl against Alabama. There he is, Connor Mack. We'll get him in here. All right, excellent. There he is. There he is, Connor Mack, now with us. So what I was saying about Vandy and Auburn is, Auburn I don't really trust to lay 3.5, 4 either. So I'm kind of in a hard spot right now with these two teams. Very, very tricky to trust either one at the moment. I kind of think Vanderbilt's going to play hard tonight, though. I mean, Byington was very critical about they didn't show up. They weren't ready to go. They were gotten blown out by a very not mediocre. They've been bad, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma was just destroying Vanderbilt in that game at Vanderbilt in Nashville. And Vanderbilt almost had this miraculous comeback. They were down by 20. They ended up making it very, very close late, but they ended up falling just short of this miracle comeback. But clearly didn't start the game well enough. I think they'll play hard, and I kind of want to take Vanderbilt here in a buy low spot because I don't fully trust Auburn laying points. I did bet over in that game. I don't trust either team defensively. Auburn's been scoring points at home. Vanderbilt's a team that, we saw, you give up 92 at home against Oklahoma, you got problems on the defensive end of the court. So I think definitely Auburn can score. I think Vanderbilt can, though, on Auburn. Auburn's not this juggernaut defensive team. Alabama, even in that win against Bama, how many points did Alabama score? They still scored enough that they could have won that game. So I think it's a high-scoring game there, Vanderbilt-Auburn. Connor, what do you think? Anything there in the SEC matchup that you like, Vanderbilt-Auburn?
Nah, I got to pass in this one, too. On the total, I think this could go either way when I was looking at it. If we get the pace, we get the points. I think this goes over. Vandy has been really good on the road. No, this is moved. This opens – basically, and there's Vandy money on them. This opens 1.5. Two, this is out to 3.5 for Auburn, which I always usually want to back them at home as well. And Vandy's just been a different team this year on a neutral and on the road from years past where they're only been backable for the most part, especially the last few years where they kind of had just mediocre years, but they've been really good. So it's a pass for me. Nothing really. What about here? I'll throw this back to you. This is the earliest game. What do you think about this over? This line's dropped. Cabano, Milwaukee, IU Indy here. This is down to 157.5. I think this could get over. You know, I know the totals that they've had in these games, like in Milwaukee, they've just were too high. We're getting 170s, 168s.
Yeah.
I think this has dropped a little bit too low where it could get over, especially if Indy has a good night at home. And I think I don't think Milwaukee should be laying any points. The problem is Milwaukee usually just beats this team up. Like, I can't remember. I think it's over 6 or 7 years since they've even beat them, even at home.
Oh yeah, Milwaukee's beaten
Indy.
them 10 straight. They're favored here.
Oh, 10, yeah, 10 straight
in front of that kind of track record.
Yeah,
no,
I know,
no
but yeah, that's how I felt. But I still wouldn't lay it with Milwaukee. But this early game, I was just thinking, I think at 157.5, this could get over, especially if Indy has just a decent shooting night. Both these teams play no defense. Like zeros. So if they just shoot it, okay, they're so bad. These basketball teams, they're just brick. You see all these just bad shooting. As bad as the defense is, the Olay
not scored in the last 2 games. So that's the last 4. They haven't even gotten out of the 70s. That's my one concern here. But yeah, I look, there's value.
How do they not get to 80 on Indy though? Right?
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that. It's not my favorite over, but I think there is some value now that it's dropped a little bit. And look, there's a few of these games on the board where I bet the over where it's fallen. Actually, there is a theme. It's just that's not the game I pinpointed, but I might, grab a little 157.5 over. But there's a few games on this card where it's just I thought the under took way too much money, and there's value going the other way. Perfect example is BYU Baylor. That total shouldn't be in the 150s now, in my opinion. BYU is going to bounce back, in my opinion, offensively here. They've had to face Houston. They've had to face some Arizona. They've had to face some really good teams. Baylor doesn't defend. Baylor can defend mediocre teams, below average Big 12 teams. The better Big 12 teams, they don't defend those teams, Baylor. And they can get absolutely ripped on the defensive end. But BYU's defense stinks right now. So I think on their home floor, Baylor can score a little bit because BYU's been giving up 76 or more in 8 of their last 9 games. So they have been just ripped apart a little bit, BYU, Kevin Young's team on the defensive end. So I don't get the infatuation with that under, where it opened 162.5 and it's all the way down to 158. I think 158 now, there's value with BYU Baylor. That's one game where I feel the number's gone too far down. I think it's gone too far down with Wisconsin, Illinois, too. What the hell are we doing here? Down to 152, 151.5 with Wisconsin, Illinois. You look at the series history. It's been one over after another with Wisconsin and Illinois head-to-head. There's 4 meetings since 2024, nothing but 160s and 170s. And yet we're dealing with a 151.5, 152 with this total. We got Illinois coming off a frustrating loss in overtime to Michigan State in that game on Friday night. Wisconsin doesn't play a lick of defense half the time. Anytime Wisconsin plays a good offensive team, and Illinois is number 1 in the Big Ten in offensive efficiency right now. Number 1. No team has been better offensively in the Big Ten than Illinois in conference play. So, I think Wisconsin's going to have a hard time keeping Illinois under wraps here in this game. In fact, I split this bet up. Not only did I bet the low point of the total at 151.5 over, I took Illinois team total over 81.5. I think they get into the 80s here. Bounce back spot. Wisconsin on the road, susceptible. They gave up 88 to Michigan on the road earlier in Big Ten play. If you're giving up 88 to Michigan on the road in Big Ten play, why the hell can't Illinois get into the high 80s against you here tonight, at least the mid 80s, which is all that you need. So, yeah, I like the Illini team total. Saturated, I was going to say, is going to love hearing this. But, yeah, Illinois team total over and the full game over there with Wisconsin, Illinois. I'm just mine's boggled why that total's gone as far down as it has.
I don't mind the team total with that game. Shout out to Dimitri, our guy with the $10 dono. We appreciate it, my man, with the dono. Justin McCalvey, what's going on, my dude? Great to see you. Tony the Tiger, as always. Shout out to everyone in here. Hit the like button, Mark. Great to see you, my guy. Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. Goracle, appreciate you, my dude. Yeah, I think that game could get over. There's just no way I'm laying points. I'm taking Baylor here. I haven't took this team all year long. Man, I'm going to take them here. I think I've seen enough of them move a little bit.
The only thing I
forward.
will say countering that is that BYU's faced as tough and brutal a schedule as it gets lately. When you think of Kansas and Houston and Arizona, like they face nothing but the absolute best lately, it feels like, in the Big 12. Is this a step down in class now for BYU facing a team like Baylor? That being said, BYU did just lose to Oklahoma State. That was the one bad loss they had during that
Yeah.
schedule. So maybe Baylor can step up at home and maybe win this game. We'll see.
Look, this Baylor team doesn't have a bench.
Yeah.
Really. They can really struggle
Yeah.
to score. But BYU laying points on the road, they have their own time getting other scores involved, of course, with this team. I just don't think they should be laying points. Maybe this is a good spot for them to go on the road here and win. But I don't believe it. I just don't think they're very good. Flat out. I know the schedule like you talked about, other than the Oklahoma State game. I mean, they went to Kansas State. K-State's not very good. They won by 10 earlier, right, at the start of conference play.
Yep.
So still, I just don't think Baylor's got to be on, like I talked about, especially the starters, card, everybody. But I'll take the 3.5 in my back pocket in this game, especially when you don't have a defense. I think the other team's live, on the road.
It's a very short card, so I only have a couple more that I'm going to mention, and we'll throw it to CMAC for anything else he'd like. I'll just rip through. I mean, Virginia, Florida State's a pass for me. I mean, I just don't want to lay 8.5 with Virginia. I lean Virginia. Maybe team total over for Virginia. I could see them scoring in that. George Mason's struggling. I don't really feel comfortable laying 3.5. I don't know if I'd trust Richmond, and I'd lean Richmond there, but didn't get to the window in that game.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, George Washington. I actually think Rhode Island George Washington, do I want to lay 5.5? I don't know. Rhode Island's had some decent road efforts, so kind of lean to Rhode Island. Small bet there for me on Rhode Island there. Notre Dame, SMU, not a whole lot. Fordham, St. Joe. St. Joe's the better team. I don't know if I want to lay 4.5, though, so that's another one I kind of stayed away from. I don't trust Purdue against Nebraska, and anything close to a pick 'em, it's Nebraska or pass for me at home. By the way, how about the under trend of Nebraska home games? I think it's something like 11-1 to the under for Nebraska at home this year. So they have been nothing but all lower scoring, and remember when Fred Hoiberg first got there at Nebraska, not to mention when he coached at Iowa State before that, he always played up tempo, push the ball, get out in transition, run. That's not what he's doing anymore. It's slow it down. It's half court basketball now here at Nebraska, especially with this year's team. So yeah, if you're going on the trend and you believe in trend as your friend, CMAC, it's hard. It's under or nothing, because these Nebraska home games, just one after another, they've stayed under this year. A couple more. Western Illinois, CMAC. This is one I did bet. Western Illinois, the Leathernecks, getting 4.5 at home against Eastern Illinois.
I looked at that.
I think this is their spot here. Eastern Illinois, they don't win by margin on the road, hardly ever. They're not that good themselves. You look at it, it's one of these spots where it's revenge too. Eastern Illinois just escaped with a home win against Western Illinois in the first meeting. I think Western Illinois senses that, hey, if we're finally going to win a game, this is a good shot at it. An in-state team that's not that much better than we are. So, I like Western Illinois. They're 4.5 at home. Yeah, North Carolina, Miami. This is one worth talking about, because Handicapping 101 says you have to bet Miami here or you don't bet the game. Got North Carolina off the Seth Trimble buzzer beater, game-winning 3 to beat Duke on Saturday. Storm the court at the Dean Dome there in Chapel Hill. Huge potential letdown spot. I totally get all that. I cannot and will not back North Carolina flat out in this spot. I got to admit, though, I don't think Miami's great. I don't know if I trust.
I think they're all right.
That's the thing. Pretty good. It can't just be bet on or a bet against spot. You got to have a bet against on one side, and you have to have a bet on the other side. That's actually something I heard from Teddy, my mentor in the business, like 10 years ago when I first started. He said, if you're going to make a strong case to back a side, often you want to bet against on one side. And we have the bet against, trust me, with North Carolina, because this is a dangerous spot coming off the big Duke win. But do you have the bet on element on the other side, which is the team you're going to be backing in Miami? I don't know if we do, because I don't think they're that good. And I think they feasted on a very light ACC schedule. And when they have faced any sort of a team with a pulse, Miami, they haven't gotten the job done. And they're in a point spread range now where they got to win. This isn't about covering. This isn't about hanging around. This is about winning. If Miami's going to cover, I don't trust them to. I just don't. I don't know if they're good enough, even with this being a potential trap spot, tricky spot, whatever you want to call it, for North Carolina. So I'm totally off. I have no interest in betting a side in this game, quite honestly. I mean, if I had to, I'd take Miami, but I don't know if I trust them, C-Mac. What do you think there?
That's how I feel. It's not like you're getting, 4 or 5 points here. Because I even thought
4.5, 5.5 points with the home team as a dog against a superior team in a letdown spot. Back in the day, you used to get it like at least 4 or 5 points with those teams. You're not getting them anymore.
Well, they know this is after that win. Right. The books, this is all baked in, and exactly. Basically,
you're not getting one over on the books. They know this number maybe padded a bit to Miami because of the spot. Spot. Yeah.
And how good is their offense? I mean, it's looked good. Like the numbers, how do you take from, like you talked a little bit about their schedule and who they played, even in ACC play. But I think it'd be them. Yeah, they're just, they have to win the game basically now. I kind of look at them first half. It's just, can you trust them to shut everything down kind of defensively? Because I still don't. Right. In a bunch of games. And I think the total's right where it'd be. I think this, we could see points, but I think it was a little bit maybe high, like maybe not crazy amount, but so I had to stay out the total when I went through all the numbers. Now with Canes Nation, my guy, great to see you up in here. Canes Nation, as always. He's been watching us a long time. Bet on our college basketball.
Yes, he has, no doubt. I wish I had more faith, Canes Nation, in your team tonight. It's because you're getting North Carolina in a tough spot, but I don't know.
If I had we're just going off free here, I'd take Miami first half. But I just don't have enough in it. But shout out to our guy.
I laid it with Duke, by the way. 16.5 at BetMGM. I laid the big number with Duke. I think they probably smash Pitt. Have you actually looked at the last 2 times Duke has gone to Pittsburgh and played them on the road? I think they've won by like 20 or 30 both times. Like, they've absolutely destroyed Pitt in this building the last couple
of times. If they can't score Pitt, it's a problem because they already can't score.
Yeah.
And Duke has a good defense. Do they get to 60 points in this game? Pittsburgh? I mean, that's where their team total is, right?
Team total under for Pitt. You could go that because Duke does have a great defense. They kind of fell apart late, but you got to give North Carolina credit. That set they ran to set up Seth Trimble that 3 was outstanding. That's just great offensive execution. I wouldn't even blame Duke defensively as much as I would just tip the cap and say UNC, hell of a play out of a timeout there.
Yeah, it was definitely. All right, let's get to a couple of these late. You think this Oklahoma State, Arizona State could get over? I mean, we're at one. There's some 160.5, 161.
They've been an under machine lately, Oklahoma State, where they've slowed down, not slowed down a bit, but they haven't been shooting it as well. And both teams are going to play up tempo, but it's concerning that they've neither one's been offensively efficient enough at times to get over a number like this. So that's my only fear.
Yeah, there seems to be. But both of them give it up. It's usually Arizona State who can't. They end up with 74, and they're giving. You know what I mean? Will keep a total under a little bit lately, and they've just been a little bit too high. What about any Mountain West? You got the balls to take Air Force, one of the worst teams? No,
I just that's a pass for me. I'm not laying 15 with Colorado State either on the road, but yeah, I don't know if I trust Air Force that much.
I know.
There's only a couple more we haven't hit. Houston, Utah is just a big fat pass for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to fade Houston, but they are coming off, the BYU win on a Saturday night, on the road again for a second straight game. Do you trust Utah enough at home to stay inside 16.5? They did against Kansas on the road on Saturday. Utah covered. So I don't know. It's just, I like Houston so much as I just rarely ever bet against Houston. I can't remember the last time I actually made a bet against Kelvin Sampson. That's how good. Yeah, Duke first half, James, I wouldn't argue that. I think they could be beat down waiting to happen early.
Yeah.
Coming off that loss against North Carolina. Not getting a great – and look, Iowa State's kind of been going through they barely survived Baylor over the weekend, but they've dominated TCU. Like I can't remember the last time
Yeah.
TCU covered against Iowa State. So I kind of think Iowa State minus the 7.5 there. Small bet for me there with the Cyclones. Over for me with Fresno and Utah State. I think that game goes over the total, and I'm not the only one that thinks that, because that total's gone up from 149 to 153.5. I'm seeing, so pretty big move there. So I like that. I like that total going over. I think Utah State will score at will, I think, against Fresno here in this game. Fresno does play up tempo. We've talked about that before, and I think they'll contribute enough to the scoring for that game to go over 153.5. And then the two late games, CMAC. We got two games at 8 Pacific to wrap up the night. I'm taking the Spartans. Give me those 12.5 points here with San Jose State at the Thomas and Mack Center tonight. Come on, this is typical UNLV tonight. They're going to probably just cough and hack and wheeze their way to a struggle of a win tonight against San Jose State after beating Grand Canyon at home on Saturday. It'd be so UNLV to do that. So I think San Jose State's covered a couple in a row as these big double-digit dogs. So as bad as San Jose State's been, and look, they're not a good team. They are one of the worst teams in the Mountain West, but they've been mildly more competitive the last couple games. It's not a good UNLV spot. I have zero faith in the Rebels and confidence in the Rebels as a double-digit favorite. Give me San Jose State there to keep that game competitive.
Yeah, losers on the road, but covered some games on the road throughout the year. San Jose.
Yeah, that's an ugly one. And then Washington State, Gonzaga. I'm going to take the 21.5. That's a big number to be given the Cougars. They're capable. Maybe split it with team total over 66.5 for Washington State, because Washington State's been actually scoring a lot more the last, I would say, 4, 5, 6 games. They had one bad shooting night against Oregon State, but really outside of that, Washington State's been shooting a bit more. Gonzaga had that inexplicable loss to Portland, and then they bounced back and they won and covered against Oregon State over the weekend. But now they're back home laying a big number. It's just too big to me. I think Washington State, as long as they don't have one of these 20% shooting nights against Gonzaga here in Kennel, I think they can keep that game within 21.5 as well.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I'm going to take a shot, I think, with it. Maybe not a crazy bet. Is take Washington State plus 12.5 first half. We talked about they were trying just the bigger number, because if they have a decent shooting, I think they stay within the 12. If they have a horrible first half, they could be down by 18, and then Gonzaga maybe cruises after that. But they're shooting the ball a bit better. They still don't have a defense, really, Washington State. But I've seen a little bit of their play. I mean, to start the year, I backed them. They were awful. Washington State. Holy shit. It was not good. But if they can at least score, I mean, that gets this total over as well. Like you talked about, if they get their team total over. Because Gonzaga should be able, to get easily in the mid-80s here, I think. And their team total is, 88.5, 89?
Yep.
Maybe they get to 90. But, yeah, I'll take a shot with them first half here. Wazoo.
There you go. So you're liking the first half look a little bit more here. With, good stuff with Washington State. Wazoo there in that game. I think that's we hit every game, CMAC, in like 20 minutes. Barely.
What about with this one? I think we touched on anything total. Marquette Villanova. Did you hit on that?
You know what? We did. That is actually the one game we have not brought up yet. You're right. Marquette and Villanova.
Anything
it fits
there?
My profile. Marquette fits the system that I've talked about before. Team loses at home in the first meeting. Marquette lost to Villanova at Marquette. Oh, yeah, Arkansas, LSU. We missed that one, too. But, yeah, Villanova, Marquette. Okay. Villanova at home. Sorry, what am I thinking? Marquette at home lost to Villanova in the first meeting. Now in the rematch, they're a road dog getting points, and a lot of time the revenge team is a good bet. It's a bet on angle. Long term, it's a bet on profile long term. Problem is Villanova's playing really, really good right now. So, but I did the system's been good to me. I took Marquette plus 9.5, plus 10 in that range. Small bet because Villanova is playing well, but that's a good system. Road underdog in revenge for a home loss. It's been good. So, we'll see. And I like the way Marquette's been playing a little bit. Villanova's been really good at home. That's the one concern. But I took a little bit of Marquette. I have Arkansas team total over against LSU. When I bet Arkansas now, I don't lay the points. I just take the team total over. Because if they cover, they go over their team total. That's because they're just
What
they
is
get
it?
on a run offensively. And I think they can do that.
82.
LSU does not step up and beat good teams either. Not this year. They just don't.
Yeah.
So 81.5, I actually think they can get over that even on the road.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the number's right. When I was rolling through that game, totals dropped a little bit to 158.5. So,
no.
And you trust LSU? I mean, I can't right now. So it was a pass for me. I get it. You've been on Arkansas a ton this year, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, and I took Georgia
total
against LSU, and that was on the road for Georgia. And I'm like, this LSU just doesn't beat teams that are better than them, and it's been constant. And Arkansas is better than them. Unless Arkansas just falls flat, maybe that opens the door for LSU. I will say I did notice one thing that I did notice was that the last few years, Arkansas has had a hard time winning in Baton Rouge. That was something I did notice. They've had some last couple of times at LSU, they've had some trouble. But this is a really good Arkansas team, and this is probably the worst LSU team during that time. So I still think Arkansas can get it done. Shout out to the chat. Tony the Tiger Hunter. Brandon 2 cents. Brandon S. 2 cents. Justin McKelvey. Jorge Herrera. James Parham. Canes Nation. Tyler Torres. Mr. One and Done. Nick Alvento.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate everybody joining us here. Chucktown, Mark Navarez, appreciate it. Saturated, Goal Illini tonight. Hopefully get over that team total for me. Dimitri Mama with the $10 dono again. Missed that earlier. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Damon YT, J Main 34, Justin Casey, Akashia Cook, Ricky Bobby. Excellent. What a turnout today. Good crowd in the chat. Goracle, Gorky, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Be back with us tomorrow. If you're a member, join us again tomorrow. We're on members only. Hitting the Books show. Wednesdays, Fridays, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you join us for that tomorrow. Members of the channel, we will be here to talk college basketball once again, a little NBA as well, though I'll be honest, I can already guarantee it. I'll be treading lightly in the NBA tomorrow night. It's a big card, but final game before the All-Star break for all these teams. Yeah, who's in, who's out. It's a headache. It's going to be a headache to handicap it. So, yeah, less is more. Quality over quantity with NBA for me tomorrow night. All right, that's it. Let's wrap it up with best bets, C-Mac. It was a best bet winner for what was your best bet last night?
Kansas.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. You said Kansas to get it done against how about that? No Peterson, no problem. Kansas still.
Who needs it?
And Arizona, their first loss of the season. You just don't bet against Kansas at home on a big Monday. I mean, they're 40-0 now. I saw it after last night. 40-0 under Bill Self. Kansas at home on Monday nights. That's pretty crazy. But it struck again last night. So that means 2-0 best bet sweep last night on Hitting the Books. So hopefully another 2-0 sweep today. C-Mac, what do you got for best bet?
Shout out to everyone in here. Kenny Woo 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 disappeared. I like that. He just subscribed. Big Crypto. He just subscribed. Appreciate you there. Saturated on Amen Bavano. He loves it. He loves when you're talking up Illinois basketball. That I was going to go. This is moved, though, back up to, at the 152 to that over Wisconsin, Illinois, but it's 154. So I'll give you something else.
Has it gone up again? Oh,
it's gone up a little bit. I see it. So I don't want to give that. Yeah, I got the 152. I like that over, but here.
For time it went up. It just got way too low at 150. I have 151.5.
We're all over it.
It got to that point.
We're Hawks here. This is what we do. We're on this shit. We're on these numbers. Get on it. I think still there's a little bit of room there. Baylor plus 3.5. Give me them. BYU. I think they're frauds. As much as Baylor, I think are frauds too. Give me Baylor plus 3.5. My best bet.
Let me do some shopping here because what you just mentioned, that was going to be my best bet. No, there's still a 153.5 out there. Hard Rock Bet, couple other places have one. It's moved. No, I have 151.5. I still like it at 4 straight meetings, and that they've all gotten into the 160s and 170s head to head, Wisconsin and Illinois. I just think that total just got way too far down as far as I'm concerned. So That's what I'm going to go with. We had an easy one last night with Valpo and Drake easily going over the total. And I think it's potential to be just as easy here, quite honestly, because I couldn't believe it when this total got to the low 150s. I think Illinois rips this Wisconsin defense after that loss to Michigan State. They score well into the 80s. They might even approach 90. Remember, Michigan gave up 88 to Wisconsin gave up 88 to Michigan on the road earlier this year. Illinois is capable of getting to that mark. And if they touch 90, Illinois, you'd then need 64, 65 out of Wisconsin to go over this total. I think it can happen. Absolutely. So, yeah. I like it. You're getting great value, in my opinion. So let's rock with that. Wisconsin, Illinois, over 153.5 for my best bet here for this Tuesday in college basketball. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Again, tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be here, but for the members. So become a member of the Hitting the Books YouTube channel if you aren't one already. And we will be here for you tomorrow talking mostly college basketball, but little NBA and little NHL. No NHL. NHL is just NBA. It'll just be college basketball and NBA tomorrow on the members only edition of Hitting the Books. So make sure you join us, members only. And again, we have members only shows Wednesdays and Fridays each and every week, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Appreciate it very much, all you tuning in. Again, one last time, too, Connor Mack, do not send him anything on Twitter to his Twitter account.
Or answer anything.
Any links that are sent to you from his account. Do not do that.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
And by the way, they've taken over because if you go to Connor Mack Picks and you just look at the profile header, it will show that Connor Mack is a residential real estate agent in Florida, waterfront side specialist, Tesla flat owner, and
unbelievable
Tesla shareholder. So we can he is none of those things. So that tells you the account is compromised. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, don't answer it.
And he probably ain't getting it back, but he may start a new one soon. So like I said,
that's probably what I'm gonna have to do here.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Tony. Yeah. What the fuck?
Real estate Tesla sharehaller?
I know. I saw it. It's crazy.
I know.
Hey, that's me in another life.
Yeah. Well, you got to laugh or else. Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do? That's it, guys. For C-Mac, Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Members only show. Until then, class dismissed.